The evolution of bats. Bats make up more than a fifth of all mammal species, but much is still unknown about the evolution of these creatures and how they came to have some of their most recognizable traits, such as flying and echolation. Due to a growing number of fossils and growing knowledge of DNA, we have a better understanding of bats and how they once were. However, some of the biggest questions about bats still remain, like how they became to be the only mammal to have the ability to fly and how they developed their echolation abilities. This video will dive into the world of bats in order to find out more about these creatures and how they evolved. One of the primary obstacles interfering with a greater understanding of bats and their evolutionary process is the effect that climate has on bat fossils. Bats are primarily found in tropical climates where the heat and moisture in the atmosphere speed up fossil decay, and because the bones that make a bat's wings are very thin, few remains are found. Recently, Nancy B. Simmons and her colleagues at the American Museum of Natural History found the oldest bat fossil to date, giving us a new and exciting insight into the earliest examples of the bat species. The previously oldest bat fossil, Incarnaritis, shows that these ancient bats were actually very similar to modern-day bats in size and probably survived on a similar insect diet. One of the key differences between this species and the modern-day bats is their skull sizes. More contemporary bats have developed a larger skull, which has allowed these creatures to develop their echolation ability. Incarnaritis, the fossil Simmons found, is a vital fossil in the evolutionary time frame because it shows a transition phase from a non-flying species to species with the ability to fly. This fossil shows a bat who has developed shorter forearms and longer hind legs, similar to non-flying mammals, while still having the ability to fly. Other findings in DNA research have also determined that bats have one common ancestor, and their echolation abilities of bats have formed differently in bats due to their different brain evolution. Both anatomical and molecular homologous structures can be used to determine branching sequences. Homologous genetic codes are shared by species of bats and can be traced with fossil analysis. Population isolation is a huge factor in the evolution of a species. Mutations and genetic variation were prominent, causing generations of bats to end up evolving according to their convenience. Traits inherited as well as traits lost help bats become the astonishing creatures they are today. Mutations, changes that randomly occur in genes, could have helped or damaged the lives of bats throughout the years of change. Mutant alleles may have also improved the adaptation of bats to enhance their reproductive success. Dramatic increases may have had positive effects as well as negative effects in the development of bats. Genetic variation was needed for bats' population to evolve, but variation alone did not guarantee the microevolution would occur in the species. Natural selection may have altered variation in three different ways. Bats may have been affected by stabilizing selection, directional selection, or disruptive selection. These changes may have occurred in accordance to species, color, location, and demographics, and environmental advantages. Sexual selection may have also been present in the evolution of bats. Certain species that were better for the environment may have made an easier time obtaining a mate and being able to reproduce. Certain species of bats may have also developed an antibiotic resistance to bacteria concerning their health. These species become stronger as they are easily able to reproduce. Over the years, species of bats have changed in order to optimize their population. Weak bats died out, while other stronger ones were able to survive longer and reproduce in order to pass down their beneficial traits. Although bats are not the perfect organisms, they were able to keep on reproducing and became the magnificent creatures they are.